Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint.
We can expect the 2000 GP to happen around the year 2064. The record for the most cars in an F1 race was achieved at the 1953 German Grand Prix with 34 cars. The race with the fewest entries saw only 6 cars line up on the grid. This was the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Jack Doohan lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ocon, Albon, Russell, Teo Porcher, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hauger, Norris, Sainz, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Stroll, Sargent, Richards, Bottas, Tsunoda, Perez, Zhou, Magnussen, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please. Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're loading the gears, so let's go through them all if you can. Bottas is behind you. That's Sargent just ahead. Push hard. Copy that. Understood, copy that. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race. Okay, the static over the radio, say it again. You sat in P8, well done. Leclerc is ahead of you, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, gap to leader, 4.8 seconds. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops, let's go. Okay, 17 laps to go now. Receiving you. Gap to your teammate ahead is 5.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in first. And the time last lap was a 1:48.9. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. That's 8th place, you're in 8th place. Leclerc ahead, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, push, gap to the car behind. 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Our gap to first place is 5.4 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. 8. Well done. Leclerc is ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. And Verstappen's behind. Okay, car behind trailing us. 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 5.3 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Trailing our teammate by 4.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in first. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 46.2. Safety car, no overtaking, reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed. Just be warned, the underbody is showing heavy damage. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, you've currently got 19th place. Perez ahead. They're on fresh mediums. Ricardo behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind. 16.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 13 laps to go. Some information on Hauger. They've got an issue with their car, they're going to be slow. damage to the underbody, expect the car to feel some impact. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Magnussen's behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Time last lap was a 2 minutes 36.0. less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:52.1. Okay, they're building a lead of 0.6 a lap. Come on. Gap to your teammate ahead is 12.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in first. Your last lap time was a 1:46.4. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace. Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Okay, we've been informed due to increasing risks, they're moving from a virtual to a full safety car. Full safety car. Currently trailing our teammate by 18.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in first. Time last lap was a 1:46.4. 60, we got P60, Perez ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Magnussen's behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, 7 laps to go. Right, let's pick up the pace a touch, please. We need to close to within 10 car lengths of the car ahead. We're sat in 16th right now. It's Perez ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Magnussen's behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Information on Sargent. They seem to have an issue. Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags. Okay, clear. Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more. Make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Sonoda ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 0.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old, and the time last lap was a 2:37.1. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Is 8.5 seconds. We're currently trailing our teammate by 8.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in first. Your last lap time was a 1:46.6. Sergeant ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. Time last lap was a 1:51.7, and you're closing by 0.4 a lap. Keep it going. DRS is now enabled. P13, Sergeant's ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. They seem to have an issue. Okay, Sonoda's behind you. We're leading the car behind by 1.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 12.1 seconds. Look after these tyres now and want to finish the race on this compound. Come on, just 3 laps to go, 3 laps. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.8 seconds. Front wing, you've taken some minor damage. The underbody's taken some damage. Expect some significant impact to performance, I'm afraid. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Verstappen behind you now, and the gap behind us is 0.9 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres, and the time last lap was a 1:49.9. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining. incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful. Green flag. Right, we have to replace that front wing. Box now, box. There's damage to the underbody. Expect to feel significant effects in terms of performance. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. P13, you're currently in P13. That's Sargent just ahead. Push hard. Our gap to the car in front is 2.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. Okay, Bottas behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 18.0 seconds. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Gap to your teammate ahead is 22.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in first. Your last lap time was a 1:46.5. Part of the track, no overtaking through the yellow flags. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So let's review the drivers' standings. This result narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. With the sprint wrapped up, we now have our grid line-up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.